Good morning, everybody. How are you all today? It is Dixie from the Design+Style podcast here to talk to you about day 3 of our visibility challenge. And today is all about in-person networking because I hate to break it to you, but online is not the only way to go. It's not. You still need to do stuff in person. So the first thing I wanted to tell you about is a book that I read a couple of years ago, and it completely changed my thinking when it came to my own introvertedness. That's a word, right? It is called Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. It's by Susan Cain. Yes, Stephanie, we're talking about in person today. Don't worry, it's not going to be too terribly bad. So I've just popped in the comments. It's an Amazon link to the book Quiet. It's not an affiliate link. You can go and check it out at the library, but it's a really good read. Whether you think you're an introvert or not, it'll help you realize the difference. And it really makes a difference as far as feeling more confident in yourself and understanding why you are the way you are. When I discovered Quiet by Susan Cain, I had joined Toastmasters. If you are not familiar with Toastmasters is a worldwide organization that helps people learn to speak in public. They combine both, and they would be counting all of my ums, by the way, but they combine short little 1-minute quick topics so that you can learn how to think on your feet better. They talk to you about, you get to practice doing longer speeches, and it starts from, I think, 3 minutes and goes all the way up to almost an hour that you can practice along the way. Good morning, Summer. And the thing that I like too about Toastmasters is everybody there is just as nervous or has been in the past as you are. And everybody makes a really concerted effort to make sure that you feel welcome and encouraged. And I did Toastmasters for about 2 years. I went through the leadership book and I went through the first speaking book and started on a little bit more after that. But it was a great opportunity for me to practice. And it's just so much easier to practice when you have a weekly commitment. Some groups meet, I think every other week, some a couple of times a week, some just once a week. But the thing is consistency. So when it comes to in person, if you stop doing it, you get really, really rusty, and it starts to be really, really painful for you and for the other people. So if you struggle with feeling like the giant awkward turtle that Rachel and I do, and I am especially guilty of it, you're going to want to find something that you can do on a regular basis. It doesn't have to be Toastmasters, but something that you can do on a regular basis to practice. And it sounds stupid, but practicing is really what you have to do. So another thing that, if you saw my selfie this morning with my coffee mug, I was out the door at 6:30 this morning because I have joined a BNI group. I know Sherry, I'm going to butcher your last name, Bruno. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Sherry Bruno. Stephanie, I think your day job does count to some extent. You have to go and talk to people every day. Stephanie's a teacher, if you don't know, for her other job in her other alternate life. But Sherry Bruno, I know for sure, does BNI. And BNI is Business Networkers International, I think. I'm terrible with acronyms. And I go every week. It is a networking group. It is meant to be so that you get to know people. Every single person there is doing the same thing that you are. And it's funny, but a significant portion of the people that are in my group, introverts. We have a ton of fun. We cut up and crack jokes, and we still follow the rules and get through the meeting, but it's a great way to get to know other business owners in person. And one thing that I like about BNI, besides the fact that you meet every week, and get to know each other better and better as time goes on is that they have one-to-ones. And a one-to-one is you sit down with one of the other people in BNI, and it doesn't just have to be your chapter. I do it all the time with people from other chapters. You sit down and have one-to-ones and talk and get to know that person. You don't have to worry about there being a huge crowd of people. For me, I use it as an excuse to go to my favorite coffee shops and get coffee that I love and enjoy the environment of those places. I make sure to reward myself when I do go out and talk to people. That's a huge key. So, Carla, yes, you being a teacher counts too. Okay, Chamber of Commerce. If you can see my tag here, I don't know how much it's showing in this particular shot, but Chamber of Commerce. I joined my local Chamber of Commerce. I know that there are a lot of people who think, it doesn't really do anything. You get out of the Chamber of Commerce what you're willing to put into it. I hate going to large groups of people and introducing myself around. It sucks. It is miserable for me. So when I joined and found out that they were accepting new ambassadors right then, I signed up because I have a purpose at each and every one of those meetings. So this tag, Chamber Ambassador, I had to earn it, by the way. They don't give these away for free. I had to earn this. I had to do so many things before I got it. Being a Chamber Ambassador is great because I stand by the fishbowl where everybody drops their business cards in when they come in the door at all of the different coffees. I greet people. I find out who the new people are. Yes, Stephanie, functions. But I greet people and I get to see the same faces every time. And you also get to figure out who the new people are. And when you know who the new people are, you can go and chat them up. They're happy because they're awkward turtles too. They've never been before. It makes them feel good to have somebody talking to them. And I have a purpose. My purpose isn't to self-promote, which is something that Rachel and I are talking about next week on the podcast. But my purpose is to help them figure out what the chamber can do for them. And the chamber is more than just signing up and sending that check. You have to actually go to the functions for it to be of any use. This has been invaluable. I have met more people doing the chamber than anything else. Now, I will say I have probably the best chamber I've ever seen, the best Chamber of Commerce I've ever seen here in Blount County in East Tennessee. It's phenomenal. So if you have a crappy chamber, maybe that's not the one to go to for you. If they're all the same exact person, just 15 iterations of the same exact career, might not work for you. But going and meeting these people helps tremendously. So now that I've talked about those, we can get back to Stephanie said something about school functions. Yes, school functions, industry groups. If you're an interior designer, there are things like ASID, IDS. I joined IDS because it kind of fits better with my personality, the local group, than anybody else. I know Veronica Solomon is a member of IDS as well. And she won an award. You can join NKBA. I know that there are a couple of NKBA, National Kitchen and Bath Association, I believe. The Home Builders Association. If you are an interior designer, it's worthwhile to go and check out the local Home Builders Association groups. But it's not just interior designers. There are industry groups no matter where you are. For engineers, there's ASME. If you're a mechanical engineer, the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. It's a group where you get to network, you get to meet other people whose jobs, all of these industry groups, even if somebody does the same job, they might have more resources than you do. Or you have resources that they need, and it's just a way to find people that mesh up. Online is great, but it really helps to keep your sanity if you talk to people in person, because I know that if I don't get out of this house, because my office is in my house, if I don't get out of this house and go talk to actual human beings, I get really weird. Like, I turn into this weird, if you've seen Sheldon Cooper on The Big Bang Theory, that's who I turn into. Nobody wants to have to deal with a Sheldon on a daily basis. So that's just a few of the different things that I do to do in-person visibility. Our challenge to you all today is to commit to going to one in-person thing this week. Whether it is a chamber coffee, visit a BNI meeting, call somebody up. It is amazing. From the chamber, I can talk to those. I'll find bankers or contractors or real estate people, and I will go to coffee with them and just sit and chat and get to know them better. That's what I love about doing this. It doesn't have to be that big, overwhelming group all the time. Any questions? One, only one. I'm not asking a lot here. Just commit to one in-person thing. I would like for you to put your commitment for what you're going to do in the comments here, and then we will be following up with you to see if you've followed through. So your assignment today, find a group, find one person. Call your local chamber and see what they have coming up. Pull up their website, see if they have a networking event. My chamber, Lee, is, I want to say it was $325 for my business for the year. Different chambers are different prices. I think Rachel's was $75. And yes, you know what? If you just want to commit to meeting one person in this group in person, Rebecca Robinson and I get together every now and then, and we're planning to get together again here in the next couple of weeks. So it's not hard, I promise. Just talk to one person, make one commitment. If you want to go to a big group, do that too. And then put it in the comments what you're going to do. We're going to follow up. Good morning, Kim. Stephanie, yeah, some of the chambers are very expensive, which is why I do other things too. BNI is about the same price all the way around. It's a commitment. You have to be willing to stick to that commitment. And mine starts at 7 o'clock in the morning, which means on Wednesdays I have to get up at 5, which is, crappy. I hate that. But I've got a good group of people, and I've met a ton of people there. And getting to know the higher ups in the organization helps too. I don't think, Stephanie, that something like Toastmasters would work for you, because you get up and talk in front of people all the time. But you know what? See if there is some other thing like IDS or NKBA. I know you don't do that, but even just going out and meeting them, go to one meeting, and if you hate it, don't go back. It's easy. And that's the other thing. You don't have to go back if you don't like the people. And don't commit to a group if you don't like the people in the group. So I think that is it for me for today. If you have any questions, I will be hanging around all day long, and I'll be talking to you. Actually, I'm going to pop in a little bit later because, Stephanie, I just remembered that you had a question about dealing with health problems, and I am all about that and working around that. So I'll be talking later on. I'll pop in again later on today and talk about getting out and about when you've got health issues. But my voice is about to give out, so I'm going to stop for now. I will talk to you all later on this afternoon. I look forward to hearing from you, and we'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye.